Okay, this is the Avid One video editing system, and in order to show you what's happening here on the system, we're going to start with a little cartoon. Now, I'm going to show you some of the features of the screen. What we have here is a scroll bar that lets us scroll along our video footage. Now, in this case, this is a cartoon captured from a video disc, and I think people will recognize this. I think I'm right in calling him Pluto. We've made a little title here for Pluto. And I can scroll along this footage to any point that I want. I can turn on my time code numbers here, or turn them off. And I can even sort of change the scale factor so that I can see more of this sequence. So I can actually see what happens in the sequence by skipping. In this case, we're skipping now up to 15 frames. So we're getting a few seconds in between each segment. This lets us see more of what's actually going on in our sequence. And we can change the skip rate back to 1, as I'll do here. Now, we have the ability to pop up a monitor just by pointing at the frames, setting the I'm setting the playback speed here to be correct. Okay, I'm going to play this little cartoon sequence that we have. I'll play it in full. Okay, so he thinks he's caught something in the can. He grabs it. It's not there. And he looks in the can, and then he thinks it's back down in the hole, so he grabs down in the hole. And he gets a little surprise in there. Now, we're going to give him a little bit bigger surprise than he really reckoned for. But let's start by doing a little bit of editing here. We're going to start by putting in our titles for Pluto. I'll set my mark in point here. I'm just going to take a little bit of titles and set my mark out there. And now we have our little titles that come up. Okay, so now let's take the cartoon from where it starts up until the point that he starts to look into the can. So I'm sliding along here to find that spot where he looks in the can, which is starting to happen up here. All right, so he looks in the can and he blinks. You can see we've got a blink here. And I'll just play that so we know what we're getting. I'm playing from mark to mark now, as I've set 2 marks in. Or I've set 2 marks, a mark in and a mark out. And so there's the blink. We've got, let's go 1 frame a little bit further, just so we can make sure we've got the blink in there. All right, we'll play that 1 more time. You can see that it puts up the monitor right wherever your cursor is. Okay, so now he looks in and he blinks. There's 2 blinks. Okay, so let's put that in. Now I'm going to loop on the blink just to get a little bit more blinking time in this sequence. So I'll set my mark out there and my mark in here, and we'll play that. All right, see how he's blinking? And nothing else is moving, actually. Cartoons are nice that way. Well, actually, he's bringing the thing down. Let's come in a little bit earlier, or a little bit later. I can go from my in mark to my out mark and see what you can see that thing has moved down a little bit. So I'll take it in there. Now you can see that all that's happening is he's blinking. That's exactly what we want. All right, so I'm going to paste in another blink and paste in another blink. So now we've got him. He looks in the, he grabs the can, looks up close, thinks he's got something, realizes he doesn't, and now he's going to look in the can. Now we've got him blinking a little bit longer. Now we're going to show Pluto something that he hadn't expected. I'm going to come over here to this menu and select the shower scene from Top Gun, and we'll put a little bit of that sequence in there. A little bit of, let's see. Yeah, let's take a little bit more. Okay, so that's good. We'll take that much of the Top Gun sequence and we'll put that in there. And then we'll come back to where he is blinking, just so that we get his reaction shot. So we need to find the spot where he's blinking, which I think is there, and right, so to there. Okay, there he's blinking. Okay, so we'll paste that in, and we'll paste it in twice. Okay, so now Pluto gets a little surprise there. He's going to pick up the can, look inside, after he realizes he hasn't gotten anything here. Okay, now he's wondering what the heck's going on. What he's seeing is that. Okay, now he's going to reach down into the last frame we got is 2703. So we'll come along here, and we'll pick up at 04. And we'll have him do his thing. He reaches in to the hole here, and let's see. We've got I set the wrong mark there. Okay, 2704. We need to come to over here, and okay. So that's my mark in. So now he's done with this thing. He's going to reach in there, and we'll paste that in. And now we're going to go to another little segment of Top Gun. This segment where we have a little dogfight sequence, and we'll scroll along this. And there's a segment where a missile gets fired. In fact, we'll take this segment here of the missile shooting, and we'll paste that in, and all right. So, and I'm going to play this a little bit faster. I'm going to play this a little quicker, just so we can go through and see what we've got here. So I set the frame rate to be a little bit faster. So he blinks. Now he looks in there. All right. So the missile gets fired at him, and let's see. Should we get a reaction shot of him? He's kind of fooling around in there. Let's see. We'll loop on that. Okay, so we'll paste that in a couple times. And we'll paste that in. Okay. I'm going to set my frame rate real fast here so we can play that real quick. Okay, so let's see what we got here. He's wondering what's going on. All right. All right, and now he's going to get a little bit of a surprise as the missile is coming towards him, and so we'll paste that in, and we'll go back and get a little bit of a reaction again, just so we can see what he's doing there. So there's a little reaction. Okay, so. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. We're making a little video here of Top Gun and Pluto. All right, so he's about to get a little surprise, and the missile's going to hit him. All right, we ended at 2811, so I'm going to come along here to 2812 and pick up. And he's going to get a little surprise there. I'm going to come to the point where the thing explodes. I'm going to put that in, and that'll be the end of Pluto. Okay, so here's our video played fast. He looks in there. What's going on? Okay, so Pluto gets blown up. Let's play that at normal speed here. We can control that very easily. So I've set my speed to be the normal speed, and now we'll play it. And he realized he didn't have anything. Looks inside, wonders what's going on. He sees those guys. What the heck? So he reaches in. They shoot at him. And he doesn't realize What's going on? Okay, so that's our video of Pluto. Now, you can also, just by hitting a button, pop up the edit list and look at the actual time code that we've actually done here. So you can see we've been actually building an edit list that we could download into an actual editing system. Okay, we've got sound active now, and I've also done a little bit of editing. I can scroll along the input line, and I'm going to play the whole input line so you can see what we've actually got here.
I got a good lock. Firing. Splashboard. Mustang, this is Voodoo 3. Remaining megs are...
Okay, so we've got about 10 seconds of Top Gun there, and I've done a little bit of an edited sequence down here, which has him shooting 4 times and blowing up 4 MiGs, just to add a little bit of excitement here.
I got a good lock. Firing. 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 Mustang, this is Voodoo 3. Remaining megs are...
Alright, so let's take a look at how we actually made that sequence, and I'm going to build it again. I'm going to clear the output line. And so we're going to come along here. I'm going to start at the beginning here, grab this sequence to the point where he fires the first shot, and I'll play from mark to mark there.
I got a good lock. Firing.
Okay, and actually I'm going to take it a little bit later. Well, we'll take it at firing. Alright, so I've pasted it in. Now I've made my first edit.
I got a good lock. Firing.
Okay, now I'm going to loop a little bit on firing, and we'll take it here and bring it back there. Let's
Fire. Fire. Fire.
Okay, let's come in a little bit later.
Fire. Fire.
Okay, so let's put in a number of fire. 1 and 2 and 3 and alright, so that should be 4 firings.
I got a good lock. Firing. 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 Firing.
Okay, so now he's fired a number of times. Now we need to have the missiles go off. Alright, so here's the end of where that missile shoots, and here's the beginning over there. Now, you hear that we still have the buzzer at the beginning, so I'm going to come in a little bit later over here. Now we still have one more frame of it, so let's scroll over one more time and come in here. Now I have no more of the beeping sound, and I'll put that in and paste that in 4 times. 1, 2, 3. So that including the 4. All right, so we've got 4 missiles away.
I got a good lock. Firing. 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 Firing.
Okay, so the missiles are away, and now we need to score some hits. And of course, we're now in the actual footage there was this wide shot of the missiles going across the ocean there to hit. But since we're doing a little bit more action, we're going to set our mark in there and get the explosions. All right. Didn't get my mark in point right. Okay, so let's get the that shot. Okay, so let's blow up 4 missiles, 4 planes right now. We'll paste that in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we've got our planes all downed, and let's go along and pick up on the rest of the sequence from there to the end. And we have our completed sequence all built in the output strip here with edits. We've got time code on. We can set the time code off if we want, so we're not seeing it. We can put it back on, and let's play our edited sequence.
I got a good lock. Firing. 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 Firing.
Okay, so there's our edited sequence. Let's take a close-up shot so you can see what the quality of the video sequence looks like in more detail. Let's take a close-up of that sequence so we can see what kind of video and audio quality we get.
I got a good lock. Firing, 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 firing. Splashboard! Mustang, this is Voodoo 3, remaining MiGs are...
Now if I come up above and play that, I'll get the original footage.
I got a good lock. Firing. Splashboard! Mustang, this is Voodoo 3, remaining MiGs are...
So you can see with the Avid One system, you have complete control over your video and audio, and you can quickly build an edited sequence. It's sort of like a word processor for video editing. And we hope here at Avid that this new video editing system will really make the whole process much easier, much faster, and much simpler.
I got a good lock. Firing, 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 firing. Splashboard! Mustang, this is Voodoo 3, remaining